to the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Minutes, has everybody had a chance to read the minutes from the January 15th meeting?
I have.
They look good to me. Any corrections? Good for me. I'll make a motion to accept them as they are printed.
We'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Correspondence, the town police report. If you want to make comments on that, Karen?
Sure.
You don't have to, but if you want to.
I'm just gonna read it.
Yeah, okay.
All right, December and January, we need to know. And, there's one abandoned vehicle, 11, alarm, burglary alarms, probably half of them were. Faults, and 8 fire alarms, 1 panic alarm, 2 animal complaints, 1 arrest via vehicle and traffic. 1 assistance other agency, I don't know exactly what that means, for Chapman Fire Department.
Could be, this is.
They don't tell us.
Detailed like it used to
2 disabled vehicles, 1 civil DISP.
be. Dispositions,
Dispatch. Okay, 1 property damage, 2 parking complaints, 2 reckless drivers, oh my goodness. 1 suspicious incident, 63 traffic stops. And that was down on the totem pole because there were 91 in November, so. That's for December. January. 1 accident, no personal injury, 1 aided case, 19 burglar alarms, 4 car monoxide alarms, 7 fire alarms, 1 panic alarm, 3 animal complaints, 1 arrest DWI, 1 arrest other, and 3 arrests B&T. They got busy in January. Assisted handicap disabled person 1. 1 larceny. 1 open window or door. Oh, no, 3, I'm sorry, 3. Oh, same house. 1 suspicious incident, 54 traffic stops. As opposed to what I say, 63, yeah. Okay. That's all I know. Anything else we need to know, Rhodey? No? Good job.
If
Okay,
there's any sinister trends taking place.
no, but I will say there were 63 traffic stops in December. And 54 in January, but total for the whole year last year, there were 1,148
Oh,
traffic stops for 2024.
okay.
There you go.
That's an ambulance.
Thank you, Carrie.
Yep.
The Conic Land Trust is having a Zoom meeting on Sag Pond, and part of it is a presentation, I think, on public funding that might be available for including septic systems. That's March 20th, and anyone interested can inquire with Rhodey or the Conic Land Trust to get a Zoom link. Old business, we don't have anything.
No.
Uh,
Are you automatically sending it right now? For that?
Yeah, I already sent it to you, but I'll send it again as it gets closer, then I'll also send it to the group emails as we get closer.
Gibson Beach, we had a request by, oh, I forget who it is, an organization that at one time was a nonprofit, and now they need funding, I think, for beach cleanup stations. There's one at Sag Main Beach, and there was an inquiry about putting one at Gibson Lane Beach, yellow baskets. But I think they want somebody to help fund it. It doesn't look like a very expensive operation.
Do you want feedback on it?
Oh, you know something about it?
No, I just have an opinion.
Oh, sure.
I think it's not necessary.
Yeah, I haven't noticed people using it when I've been at the beach.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just another item to clog up the cute little Gibson Lane Beach. And
Yeah.
I pick up myself without those big yellow
Right.
things, and so I don't think they're necessary, quite frankly.
yeah.
That's what I'm,
I think the only thing it does is maybe encourage people who don't think of it, that they can do something, but yeah, I've never seen anybody use them. Like, anybody else have an opinion?
Yeah, I saw him down at Sag Main and I didn't see anybody use it, so. I mean,
Yeah, I agree with Karen. I think it's more. I was gonna say crap, but I guess that's probably not it. It's not a technical word, but there's more stuff for people to throw around and that type of.
So the sentiment is that we'll pass on that?
For now.
Yeah, for the moment.
yes.
Okay, I got no problem with that. Winter tree pruning, Bartlett is working by the school right now. And actually, I talked with their rep, and one of the trees, because they were up it, they could look down and see, I guess it was a major fall.
I hope they're taking it down.
Yeah, they're taking
Yeah,
it
because
down.
all it is like
Yeah.
this.
Right,
Going by the
right.
school.
So
Yeah.
good timing,
Mhm.
yeah. And they're gonna work for a week towards Sag Store and do whatever they get done in that time period. We'll see how it works, and maybe we get them to do it again, because we have plenty of stuff that needs to be pruned, and we do have a budget for it. Any questions about that?
Yes, I do have, you need to do a motion to approve, to
Oh.
award the RFP to Bartlett Trees in the total amount of $15,950, retroactive to yesterday.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor? Okay.
what if he said no?
Well, I had already sent everybody the information, so you were all aware of it. It was a time frame that we needed to get this work going prior to today. And it ended up in the same spot, but there we go. I'm sorry, who need a second on that?
Eric.
Thank you.
I'm giving you Karen.
Thank you.
We have a
And
request.
Bill, just
Oh,
in that vein, I did speak with the representatives from PSE&G, and they are going to come and trim. We're scheduled for that area in the fall for them to
Oh.
trim around the wires, but they will come and trim that one area that we're working on right now, which is from the school down to the store on the west side. So
Great.
they'll do that beginning of next week.
Okay. We have a request for photography permit. Parsonage Lane, it's during the week, during the day.
Friday though.
Oh, it's a
Okay.
Friday, I didn't notice what day it was.
I do have representatives on the Zoom. If you could just put your cameras on. Logan, they're both under your name. I'm not sure.
Oh, hi guys.
Are you
Hi.
Logan?
I'm Logan and this is Veronica, my partner, my producing partner.
Hi, Logan, Rhodey, and
Hi.
the board
Hi.
of trustees.
Hi, nice to meet you all. Sorry,
Nice.
it's a little blurry.
Do you want them to describe what they're?
Sure, why don't you
Do-
tell us what you're gonna be up to?
Yeah, so we're filming a movie. We're in East Hampton right now, but we're filming hopefully on Parsonage Lane from 9:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. on March 7th. And it's going to be less than 25 people, probably closer to 15 people. And basically we're hoping to drive from on Parsonage Lane between Town Line Road and Sag Main Street. And I just spoke to Carl Schottenhamel about the sort of plan that we would enact, which would be we would have one police officer at one end of the street, and one of our production team members would be with one officer, and then we would have another team member with
On the
another
other side.
officer at the other end of the street. And we would communicate on walkie-talkies, which is what I've done in the past for situations like this, where the police officer would basically say, like he would allow cars to go, and then say, like, if the car is coming, we'll hold any filming. And then, so we're, working around the area, and like, if people have to get into their homes, we'll pause filming. So it would only be, we would love to have police presence to sort of help,
Facilitate. the movement.
facilitate the
Yeah.
movement of traffic.
What happens to the 2 trustees who actually live on Parsonage and they want to leave their house?
We won't film while any car is trying to leave, basically.
So
So how many hours? It's 5 hours?
Yeah, fine.
9:30?
Well, we're gonna be on Parsonage from 9:30 to 12:30, and then we travel to Dune Road for 2 hours, and then we come back to Parsonage. And Lieutenant Schottenhamel said that he would probably have the same officers with us moving from Parsonage to Dune Road and then back.
Logan, what do you do if it's raining?
We write it into the story.
Yeah,
and
I think
make
we
it
have to
more-
write it
yeah.
into the story because
Yeah.
we're a small independent film, and we have a tiny budget, and we kind of are just working with
Yeah.
whatever we can and have to accept it and roll with it.
Yeah,
if
we
it
had
rains.
that situation already in our shoot where it started snowing at
Yeah.
the beginning of our shoot, and so we had to incorporate it. And so
Okay.
we're super adaptable, both with the traffic control and all of that, but also with any weather conditions we might have.
What's the film called?
It's called
Pocket
Pocket Dream. And one of the filmmakers is from Sag Harbor.
And what is Discordia? Is that, it's a small LLC? What other films have you done? Is this your first film or?
Yes, no, that's my production company. We're one of the production companies attached to the movie.
They've
and
done a lot of features.
We've done a lot of features. It's our first one in East Hampton, so we're super excited to be working here. But yeah, we've done features and documentaries and narratives and commercials.
What made you choose Parsonage? What was so specific about that area that you wanted to use that road?
No speed bumps?
No, which I think I had spoke to Rhodey about because she was like, "What's so special about it?" But also the directors are the most specific directors that I've ever worked with in my like 15 years of producing. And when they see something that they love, they just think the look of it is perfect for the scene and like for the sort of energy of the movie and the look of it. It's just the perfect picturesque road that the directors have had their hearts on since they
Yeah.
basically wrote the script. It was always hopefully going to be Parsonage Lane.
And we should also mention they've been developing the feature in the area for the past couple of years. So they've been coming here and doing
Mhm.
writing retreats and working directly, like here and imagining the scenes in certain places. And so, like Logan said, they're very specific, which is lovely once the film is made because it's going to really embody the area. But right now is tricky production-wise, and we're excited to be keeping the challenge going.
Is this a documentary? What kind of film is this again?
No, it's a narrative film. Yeah.
Other questions?
I have my own makeup artist, so if you guys want to.
Here's your 2 trustees.
Listen, we're looking for some extras. So if anyone
It's my
would like
birthday
to
on March
be-
7th, so.
if anyone would like to be featured in the movie while we're out here, we'll be here until March 9th or
9th
Yeah, 9th.
to 11th. Yeah.
so, there's some scenes. There's like a funeral scene where we're filming at the Yardley and Piano's funeral home outside, and some other scenes where we're looking for extras. So if anyone wants to be in, let me know.
Better live.
You have to approve this?
Yes, you do. You do.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Good luck.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you all so much. So what are the next steps for us? Do we need to come by or?
I will contact you tomorrow.
Okay, amazing. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much.
everyone.
And should we stay on or
No, you don't have to stay unless you'd like to listen to the rest of the meeting. You don't have to stay
It
on.
is fascinating. We were like, whoa, this is so cool. Thank you all.
Documentary on the board.
No, I'm not done.
Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
That would have been a good movie.
We got a Bartlett tree proposal for the soil treatments and tree trunk treatments that they've done in previous years. As far as I know, this is still the currently what they're doing. On March 4th, I'm gonna go to another conference where this is a specific topic. A major part of it is beech leaf disease and all that crap. But I haven't heard anything different than what they're doing. And I think it's probably worth taking another shot at it. Maybe we can keep those trees alive.
It's just the ones on Sag Road, not the other beech trees that need it in the area.
Apparently, right? That's,
I think those are the only ones we've ever treated, are the ones on Sagaponic Road, and I think they've done a couple on
Sag Main Street, they
yeah,
did.
there's like.
Are they better?
Oh, yes, Bartlett.
Okay.
Yes, I'm not the tree expert there.
Bartlett. Next time.
They
you see
haven't
them.
died, let's put it that way.
But it's a good question. What, shouldn't we think about it? Have somebody take a look at the rest of the village here for some of the other trees here? Is
It's,
it expensive or is it?
yeah, sure, it's
Yes, very
expensive.
expensive.
And they're doing the most cost-effective way of treating them. I had a discussion with a guy yesterday, just to see, I didn't know if he was going to the same lectures I'm going to, and just always curious as to the education. But actually Bartlett, the company, last year, a lot of their research was part of the presentation, so they tend to be up on it.
Good. So the proposal for the soil care and fertilization, which is the Boost NK 20-0-6 for the Fort Fight, how is that pronounced?
Phosphite, yeah.
Phosphite. Is a total of $6,396, but there's an application in the spring and then there'd be an application in the fall. So that amount would be split between the two fiscal years. So the amount that would be charged this year would be the $3,198. And then there's the canker treatment
Right,
for 7 beech trees. Again, 2 applications, spring, fall, for a total of $598.
So,
So the total amount on this proposal is $6,994 split between 2 fiscal years.
that's for 50, total 50 beech trees? Is that what
Plus
it is?
7.
Yes,
Plus
50
seven.
beech trees
Plus
get the
seven.
soil care and fertilization, and then the 7 get the pest
Canker.
management. I think they're the ones with the.
Phytopthora canker tree.
Phytophthora, yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for this.
Yeah, in terms of cost and environmental impact, this is the way to go. I know he said that on some private properties, they may actually spray a tree. But on trees of that size, first of all, it's very expensive. There's a lot of chemical used. And I don't know legally if they can do it or not, because you're not supposed to cross property lines with a chemical application. I never looked into right-of-way management. There's a separate law for that. But, you know, you don't want to be spraying a huge tree and have that stuff drift all over the place. It's not terribly toxic, but still. Anyway, did we make a motion to?
David said he
I'll
was
make a
in
motion.
favor,
Okay.
so
I guess I'll second it.
I'll say.
All in favor?
Aye.
Certification of unpaid taxes. And if we look at our handout today, that number is 0. So it's a brownie point for Rhodey, the staff doing collections. They
Okay, I'll sign it.
herded everyone into paying their bill this year.
Incredible.
Which is
Whatever amount is
miraculous.
possible.
And miraculous. Unprecedented, I think.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's no one has a 0 number. It's amazing. Good job.
Thank you.
Is there a certain threat What do we do?
No, I don't brag.
Don't give away the effective secret, sir.
I just asked nicely
With
and
threats.
firmly.
So nice.
It's the first touch mark.
Next up is the crosswalk at the post office, SAG store, SAG general store, hopefully soon to reopen.
We have Kevin Peterman, our village engineer, on Zoom, and,
Stephen Roto with Harris Design, and Matthew Braun from Zapola Construction.
okay. Gentlemen, step up to the plate. I don't know, Megan, who you want to start with? I know I have the draft that Harris Design did. You all have it in front of you as well. Kevin has it as well, so I don't know who you want to start.
You guys can start if you'd like, just tell us what your thought was, and then we'll tell you,
Sure.
we'll get him to say what his thought is.
Yeah, sure, of course. So we just received Kevin's comments today. So we'll address those and turn around the updates as quickly as possible. But they all make sense, they're very clear and we understand them. The idea there was for the front of the store, this step where you step down off, from the store, it's a level grade there. So we have the same reveal of the step of the whole width of the way. Excuse me, Kevin's pulling it up now. And we're cross pitching the walkway back toward the street there, 2%, so to make it handicap accessible. We have the handicap spaces on the north side of the parking area, similar to where it is now. And then with the existing trees, the thought was to remove those and plant new trees, and we're creating those islands. And if we can put curbs around those, like Belgian block curbing around those, we plant those with new trees.
What's wrong with the ones that are there?
They've grown, because the power
Cell
lines.
focus, yeah.
Yeah, and the power lines are right there, so they've gotten really pruned and kind of out of shape, and they've kind of reached their age limit, so we thought it's a good opportunity if we're going to realign them a little bit too. They're kind of now, I have prepared an elevation that we could look at too, where you can see how the trees relate to the proposed trees relate to the new building.
Do you know what you're putting in? What kind?
We
of
were
tree?
proposing, we were thinking redwood, it's a native tree.
Oh,
And it is
That's a great.
yeah, and Mindy Gray really loves that tree too, so it's something we've talked about in the past as a possibility of using. We would limb that up, we'd want that limbed up approximately 6 feet off the ground so we don't obstruct views. But that's a beautiful native tree, has nice.
Will that need trimming with the wires?
The idea is no, because it should, because it's a smaller stature
Yeah.
tree, it's only gonna grow, say 20 feet at its max, and as it's growing, they can gently prune it around the wires, that was the thought. And by pulling it out toward the street just a little bit, where the trees in the red are the existing trees, so you see where we're shifting the new ones.
How about the roots? Are they gonna be happy?
Yeah, I'd be very happy there, because it's a big enough area to accommodate.
Okay.
I just planted a new tree, that exact tree.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful
tree.
Yeah.
It's even pretty in the winter, so.
Yeah, it's beautiful, has a good structure.
red.
So that was our thought there.
So it would be a mature tree though, it wouldn't be just a small plant, right? It would be-
No, we want to put in a nice big tree, yes.
Good, because they're not quick growing, they're
No,
slow
no,
growing.
yeah. And then we're introducing the thought of that crosswalk. So we're connecting the parking area on the east side of Saguenay, right, and creating this kind of central line walkway to the front door. So we were thinking of an elevated cross, like table, like so it's big enough for walking and pedestrian friendly. And with that, the pitch of Saguenay is slight, but it's going from north to south. So we know that will create a little bit of an obstruction or a dam, so we're introducing a little catch basin at the corner here where it meets the new curb. And then we want to pipe that to the existing dry wells.
right.
So we're not adding more impervious surfacing, actually, I think we're removing some to create that island for the islands for the planting. But we were hoping that we could just pitch that or pipe that into the existing dry well.
Is the crosswalk a different material?
We were thinking it would be asphalt there,
Is it 6 or 8 feet wide?
6 feet.
And how high is it?
It's approximately 6 inches.
The Maseratis and the Porsches can get over it?
Well, I mean, we can adjust that if it's, feels like it's too high.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer.
The idea there
I
is,
The rest of the road.
Yeah.
Those are like.
6 inches is not that, it's not that.
it's like a curve, yeah.
Bill,
And we,
can I just interject at
Sure,
this
go
point?
ahead.
So at this point, I think what we're gonna do is have our village engineer weigh in because the crosswalk, the drainage, the pavement, that's on a public road. So as I said to Nick, we feel more comfortable with our village engineer taking that project on because it's a public road. As far as the trees and the curbing in the front of the building, and of course you have to restore the sidewalk too, that would be something that you would take on with a, go for it there, Brian.
Access agreement, access improvement agreement.
Right, because that's all public property.
Sure.
So we would have the document
Right.
drafted up, our village engineer will draft that up to put the improvements in, as long as the board approves the improvements for that area with the trees and the I believe that's bluestone
yes.
walkway there, and then the curbing and the tree. So
Yeah, essentially curb in for you and
right,
curb out for the village. So we just need to have the curb in provisions updated. And then that's where the access would stop, and then curb out. We'll turn it over to
right.
Kevin.
Okay.
Kevin?
Understood.
No, it's a great concept. I think very nice idea, and it kind of updates what's there. Better planting plan, you know, a smaller scale tree that doesn't have to have all that nasty pruning.
Right.
I know what's there. As you point out, it doesn't quite align with where the building is now. I know as it moved back, it kind of moved to the side a slight bit to stay within the setbacks of the building. And so the entrance moved over, and so it didn't, this doesn't look right with the existing trees.
Yeah.
Plus the planters that are there are quite old. So that they were gonna have to be replaced anyway. Altogether, I think it's a nice look, and I like what you guys are up to. Good idea.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Where's the bike-friendly grate going?
At the intersection, see where the crosswalk meets the bluestone walkway? It's right here. Yeah, right there, in that corner there.
Is this, oh, this is the step.
The step is just a little bit right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is a concrete sidewalk continues down, like we
Yeah.
repaired that. This bluestone would meet the concrete, and then there's bluestone on this side of the landing, and then you walk up the
So the
steps.
grate is out by the crosswalk by the trees.
Yeah, it's on the street though, yeah.
And the reason for that is because this crosswalk is gonna be raised.
Yeah.
So this is gonna stop the water from flowing north south.
Getting water along water to south.
It's running south,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
You ready for Kevin?
I am.
All right, great. Can you guys hear me?
Say a few
Yes,
words.
Yes, you can. Thanks, Kev.
All right, you're very welcome. Good afternoon, everybody. It's been quite a while since I've seen you guys, so it's great to see you. Kevin Peterman from LKMA, serving as the village engineer. We have taken a look at the plans prepared by Reyes Design as they pertain to the improvements in the village right-of-way. And while we can appreciate and acknowledge all of the effort that have been put into these plans, we believe there are still several critical details that need to be addressed before we can say this is going to be a successful project. Regarding the drainage design, so we all know this section of Sag Main Street is relatively flat and is prone to ponding. The proposed improvements provide an opportunity for the village not only to mitigate these drainage concerns, but also to enhance the streetscape. And I think that's something that the design team is capitalizing on, and I think it's going to be a great aesthetic when it's done. To ensure the effectiveness of the design, however, we recommend the following. And existing conditions should be thoroughly documented with a boundary and topographic survey. We recommend that the survey includes spot grade elevations along the edge of pavement and the sidewalk to ensure seamless integration of the proposed design where it meets existing conditions. The survey should depict existing pavement markings and provide spot grade elevations through the proposed crosswalk, as well as on both sides and approaches to the proposed crosswalk. The survey will help identify the appropriate low point of where the proposed catch basin wants to be. We understand it's been located right now at the kind of low side of that crosswalk, but we just want to take a look at the topography of that area as a whole and make sure that we're picking up the drainage that we need to. Topographic survey will help the designer determine the tributary area and the required stormwater storage volume. This should then be compared to the capacity of the existing system to which we will be tying into, just to confirm that that existing system has enough capacity to handle that additional flow. Also, it is recommended that the existing drainage infrastructure be examined just a bit further. Based on our knowledge of the existing infrastructure in the area, it may be more appropriate to connect the proposed drainage improvements to the existing system to the south. And so, right now the plans call for that catch basin to be piped to the drainage system to the north. We're thinking it might be better to, connect that to the system to the south. And among the most important aspects of this plan, we want to make sure it's safe. We want to make sure it's safe for pedestrians, but also for the motorists in the village. And so we understand that this area experiences pretty significant pedestrian traffic, which may warrant some traffic calming measures. A raised crosswalk would help delineate a safe pedestrian path while also serving as a traffic calming measure to slow down vehicles. However, the current plans don't appear to provide sufficient construction details or spot grade elevations to ensure proper implementation. It's critical to confirm that the crosswalk height is appropriate. I'm sure you can imagine if that crosswalk is too high, it could pose clearance issues for vehicles, for our Maseratis and our Lambos that are driving through. And if the ramp is too steep, it could create hazardous driving conditions. Lastly, the proposed plans do not currently include any signage related to the crosswalk. Proper signage is essential to alert motorists in advance and ensure safe navigation through the area. So these were just a few of the quick things that we picked up on and things that we would very strongly recommend be considered and incorporated into the design to make it a successful project. And if you guys have any further questions, I'm happy to try and answer those for you.
You guys, I think the village would want LKMA to handle what you just mentioned, right? I mean, we're looking to have them handle the outside the curb part of it, which is the actual street and the crosswalk, the elevation, the signage, the drainage of that part of it. And the inside, the more decorative part of it would be parceled out to the store.
What are you thinking about as far as signage goes?
Typically in this sort of situation, we'd want to alert motorists that there's a raised crosswalk. So sometimes, you've seen with like the speed bumps, you kind of alert the motorists ahead of time because otherwise it's going to be an issue if people are driving full speed over those traffic bumps. And so in this scenario, we could put advanced warning signs that says raised pedestrian crossing ahead or something similar. We can come up with the appropriate sign that is legally appropriate for this sort of use.
But it's not going to be like the East Hampton lighted.
No, it doesn't have to be flashing.
Could be if you want.
Well, it could be flashing when they want to cross.
So I will say
That would probably
flashing
be all the time,
pedestrian,
though.
yeah, flashing pedestrian beacons. So the ones in East Hampton, they're activated by bollards that are put at the entrance to the crosswalk. So as a pedestrian enters into that, bollard, they enter in, they complete the phase in the bollard system. It triggers a signal to activate the blinking lights in the pedestrian signal. So that's an option. It's probably safer. It's definitely going to get motorists to stop and be aware of what's happening. But it may change the aesthetic of what's going on here a little bit.
Yeah, I tend not to.
I agree.
Yeah,
Next door already.
bit much, yeah. Yeah, we're not
a fan of
a
that.
state road. Yeah, I think we'll kind of minimize that type of thing.
Yeah.
Understood. And if the board would like, LKMA would be happy to work with the village and with the design team to come up with a solution that we feel is successful, that will be successful.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is your pond, really, public roads, drainage. And in the past, you guys have done pretty well with it. I mean, we had puddles there before, which on the last paving, they managed to get rid of, which was kind of amazing because to the eye, it looks like it's perfectly flat.
Well, back in the day, on the northeast corner of Hedges and Sag Main, there used to be a snow fence around a big hole in the ground, and that's where everything drained. Now we have a peace sign of herbs there.
Right.
Still ponds a little bit there.
Yeah.
So do you want to authorize LKMA to provide you with a proposal for this design?
Absolutely.
And the second part is, if you're okay with this design in general, subject to the tweaks curved in that the engineer may suggest to approve this design to go forward and authorize the mayor to enter into an access agreement for the developer to do this, because this isn't a public right of way.
Got it.
Yeah, the only concern would be that the two of you meet up seamlessly, that there's not all of a sudden some disjuncture between the street and the decorative plantings.
Absolutely.
What do we need? We need a resolution?
Yep. Two-part. First part, to authorize LK McLean to prepare designs on curb out on the roadway improvement. For further board review. And second, authorize the mayor to enter into an access agreement for the improvements curb in with the developers team at the store.
Can we make a motion for both those things?
Yep, you
Yeah,
do it
I'll
both
make a
together.
You
motion.
can both.
Can I ask a question? Sorry. But just shouldn't you approve them when you approve the other?
Well,
So that we know that they're,
yeah, they're gonna be,
together.
they've got to resubmit engineer plans to them anyway, because the blue comments are Kevin's.
right.
Yeah, so these will be
But we're
updated.
not approving, so we're not approving
We're gonna approve both.
once we see.
He's
Eventually.
gonna have his design, yeah, but
Okay.
the intersection of his design.
What you're
Okay,
doing
fine.
is you're authorizing LKMA
Okay,
to do
fine.
the work right now,
Correct.
to
Okay.
fine tune this, to work with these guys to make sure what they've designed in that front part there is
Yeah.
coordinated. They'll come back, LKMA will come back with a proposal, cost proposal and a design. But he'll work with these guys to make sure that they all marry together. And then you're gonna
Yeah, just.
create the access agreement.
So as far as timing goes, is it possible to be back for the next meeting in March?
Possible.
Sure.
Because I think they're hoping to open in April if
Correct.
everything lines right.
Yes.
You know,
Very good. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to approve both those proposals.
Yeah, we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
I,
Aye. Thank you. Yeah, this is great.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, no problem. We'll be chatting with you or directly with Kevin, okay? All right? You're welcome.
Thank you.
Take care.
thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Do you need it for anything else? So do you want to talk about timeline? I know Jim's not here.
Oh, well, Panline Road, I drove down it the other day and it is horrific and I was kind of worked up about it. And I was thinking, oh, maybe we just pave it and ignore his stamp and then I talked to Tom about it. And I was thinking maybe we tell East Stamp that we're gonna pave it this fall, whether they throw in or not, because I mean, it is just horrific.
It's horrible. Both sides.
I mean, we were discussing it today, the meeting we had with the East Hampton Highway Superintendent and various lawyers and engineers. And the highway superintendent over there, who is the guy who actually points his finger and says this gets paid. The town board doesn't do it. The town board provides money, but they don't decide where money's spent in the highway department. And he said he had no future plans of paving there, whatever that means, beyond comprehension, but maybe there's some,
And who was that again?
oh, wait,
I mean, what
I believe that's,
capacity does he?
he's the highway
He's the East Hampton
superintendent, East Hampton.
Superintendent of Highways.
Yeah.
Well, that's easy.
And
I believe that's Steve Lynch.
Yes, it is. Steve Lynch is his name.
I was thinking instead of kind of snubbing them completely and paving it this spring, just give them advance notice, we're gonna pave it.
Why does he have no?
No idea.
We don't
No
know.
idea.
He didn't give us a reason.
I know
in that meeting.
Dave has talked to people in Wayne Scott and
they're screaming for it. There's some politics going on with East Hampton and Wayne
Is the east side less, is the west side worse than the east side?
They're both horrible.
They're both horrible, yeah.
They're well overdue to be paved. I mean,
I
there's
haven't really
potholes and everything.
paid attention.
I travel it every day.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was just thinking, calm down and just let them know we're gonna do it. And hopefully the last time I talked to the supervisor, she said they were looking for grant money. And it is 300 something thousand. It's not a huge amount of money. They're spending millions dumping sand that gets washed away in Montauk. And Montauk, I guess, is special. I don't know. I'll stay out of that. But it's a road that needs to get paved, and if we pave half of it, well, some people will drive very smoothly and some won't.
So what will be the difference between the paved and the unpaved, like an inch?
No, they wouldn't leave Kevin,
That's correct. They would be flush.
Right.
So when they go down to pave, either they would do a full reclamation and replace in place, or they would mill and then resurface. But when your proposed pavement meets the existing, that joint will be flush.
That's a good thing.
So the idea is to pave both sides.
No, we
just
decided
for our
we're gonna
half.
pave our half, and you've got months to line up however you're gonna get it done, and the same company can do it all.
How about next
And
spring?
there's no difference in cost, which I asked before, so.
No, it's all the material that goes into the job. Same amount of asphalt.
There's a lot of foot traffic and bicycle traffic during the season that goes down that road. We need to get that paved.
I got, last summer, I had a guy take me into biking up there. It was absolute mess. This isn't actually expending the money, but we can just tell them we're gonna do it and see whether it's a bluff or not, just give them notice.
Yeah, I just think, I agree. I think give them notice. Give them a chance to.
I mean, we have some
Yes.
obligation to take care of the roads, and they do too, and I don't think there's any road in East Hampton that's worse than that. I don't see how it could be. I mean, I've driven around Northwest Woods, and most of the roads out there are in pretty good shape.
Well, are the Wainscot people
They're screaming to get it paved too.
writing to this gentleman
Yeah, they're doing it all.
to please pave the road?
There's a lot going on between Wayne Scott and East Hampton right now. So I don't know if that has anything. to do
Well,
with it.
Wainscot is East Hampton.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, they had that village movement a while ago, which failed, and maybe that stirred up some kind of antagonism. I don't know.
there's also some resentment from the wind farms going down Beach Lane, and there's a lot of animosity between Wayne Scott and East Hampton.
Well, maybe the Wainscot residents will bump up 300,000.
Doesn't mean they'd be allowed to pay it. Anyway, is it okay if we send out some kind of notice to them that's what we're
I
looking
think
to
so.
do?
I do, yeah. I think that's a great idea. It's a courtesy, let them know.
And is there a way to let Wayne Scott people know?
Yeah. I'll-
Yeah, Dave runs
Okay,
into
the
it,
town
he
crier.
walks his dog with some people from Wayne
Well,
Scott.
you'll know first thing tomorrow morning.
That works very effectively.
So are we gonna make an enemy of these people by doing this? By,
Not the Wayne Scott people.
no, these
It'll
towns.
be the town.
but why would we make an enemy out of it? It's our responsibility, it's our property.
Yeah.
We've told them that we have.
We're just identifying it as a priority project.
Yeah,
And we're giving them plenty of notice and courtesy that we're gonna do it. They should do it too.
That we identify as a priority project and encourage them to cooperate and do their half as well.
and they know that already. We've told them several
Yeah.
times.
Okay,
So
It's a nicely written letter. I
yeah,
will-
just a
I will
little
write it.
leery about it, that's all.
yeah, but it's not the first letter. Actually, Jim sent one out last fall to them, explaining the whole thing, so. It's not coming out of the blue, and I
Yeah.
don't think there's any.
Okay,
They'll end up doing their, as soon as they see half the road in good shape and the other half in poor condition. Look at the mess.
Well, they may just fall in and pave.
Okay, you finished with Kevin?
Yes, thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
Great. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Just one thought on that letter that you'd be sending to East Hampton. I would just recommend when you draft it, if you weren't planning on it, maybe something to consider would be CCing Supervisor Burke Gonzalez. And there's another woman, Rebecca Hanson. She's the town administrator. I think between the two of them, if they're CC'd on it, directed to Steve Lynch, hopefully, maybe that's a second chance of getting things in motion, hopefully.
So is there someone we should be CCing and citizens of Wayne Scott or something?
We can do the CAC over there.
Yeah, that might not be a bad idea.
I would CC them too.
Yeah,
Okay. Thanks, Kevin.
All right, you're very welcome, guys. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
let's see, speed bumps. In the last 9 months, I've had a raft of people inquire about getting speed bumps on the roads. And every one of them I asked or told them that the way you get it done is to talk to your neighbors and get neighbors to come together and request it. And most of them haven't done that. I'll tell you who they are. And probably they'll come back again this summer. Maybe they'll do something about it. Well, actually, people who have on Sagaponic Road, Joan Hamburg at 511, and then her daughter Liz, who has children. Joan's grandchildren stay with her grandmother. David Molpin at 493 Sagaponic Road, a neighbor, and then Charles Gunsberg, the next one over. Across the street, Nancy Alderman. Initially, I spoke with Nairi McRae, who doesn't like speed bumps, but doesn't bike and doesn't walk on the road. Initially, she polled the neighbors, and Nancy Alderman was someone who sided with McRae, didn't want it, and then when David Malkin talked to her, she changed her mind and said, oh, okay, I understand what the problem is, that he has children who want to bike to Sag Store this summer, and he's terrified to let them go on the road, people speeding around the corner. And Kevin Mizuraki, who runs the Adams Foundation, the house way in the back by the swamp, he thought that was a great idea. Anyway, they want speed bumps, and I think there's a good locations for them, which helps. You've got a blank field, the McRae's field and the blank property across the street from it before the corner, and then after the corner before the bridge, there's a blank spot where the swamp is, and then a big brushy area. My concern usually is that I know because I have one near my house, they create noise, and I don't care. I'm just happy not to hear trucks whistle by. They have to slow down, and if they rattle when they go over the bump, I don't care. But I know some people might care, and so I try to be a little sensitive to that. Fairfield Pond Lane, I talked to Lisa Orlane, who's number 29.
Wait, let me get straight on Fairfield Pond Lane. That's between Hedges and Daniels?
Yes.
By the post office.
That short road,
Yeah,
really short road?
yeah,
Okay,
they were complaining about people speeding.
it's short.
And then Eileen Sands is at, on the corner, 14 Macefield. And neither one that would call the other, and they're really, where they need it, it's gonna be near somebody's house, so I'm not really proposing we do anything there. Those neighbors have to get together if they want it and hash it out a bit. I heard from Nancy Dunlap over on Sag Road. We put the one in, and she and Steve Rogan, the neighbor, both want another one. I didn't talk to the Wolfers. They have one by their driveway. And I don't think there's a good place to put it there. We really need buy-in from somebody to do something like that. So I wasn't going to propose anything there. Wainscott Harbor Road, Jeffrey Troy, who's at 170 Wainscott Harbor Road. Alex Johnson, who's on the corner of Scott Line and Wainscott Harbor. And then Thomas Schultz and Victoria Stokes at 221 Wainscott Harbor Road have all expressed a strong interest of having speed bumps because they like to get out and bike. They have trouble backing out of a driveway, all that typical kind of stuff. And on that road, there are two places where you can put them and not have them in front of somebody's house. Old Barn Lane,
Oh, my God. How
Diane's.
many are you talking about?
Well, I think there's only a few of these I would do, because these people haven't done their homework, and if they want to do their homework and get neighbors on board, that's fine. But I've already heard the calls of the people who have heard noise and don't like it, so
How many do we already have?
I don't know.
Like 22?
No,
Not enough.
10, I think,
Um,
10.
10 speed bumps?
Could I keep talking? Can I just
Yeah,
finish? Okay. Because this is something people come to me with. If you remember, you go back to when I was first elected, and I showed up, and a few days before a boy was killed down on Town Line Road, people jumped on me and said, "What are you going to do about this?" And it really sticks with me. We immediately put notices up on construction sites. Everything we could do, we did. We eventually got the speed limit dropped there, cleaned up all the obstructions to visibility on the road. Everything we could do, we did on that road. You know, when I look at this and somebody says, "I've got kids who want to bike to the store, and I'm afraid to let them go out on the road," and I tell them no, and something happens to that kid, then what are they going to say to me? I asked for help on this and you turn me down. And they come to me, they don't go to you. Did anybody call you about the kid down on Town Line Road?
No.
But they called me. And I just don't want to hear it. And I know they work. You know, I talk to people who, you know, I talk to Dave and he goes to Florida to see his mother, and the neighborhoods are all done with this, and people do not speed. And even though they're a nuisance, you know, I wish it was 1960 and we didn't have to have any of this stuff, and I could ride my bike at night without a headlight on and not worry about a thing. But it ain't that anymore. We've got like a slew of barbarians who drive through here, care nothing about our neighborhood, and just want to get to something in East Hampton or get from East Hampton up Island.
Well, I don't think it's, or can I talk?
Let me finish. There's more. Ann Sanford on Old Farm Road, 10 days ago, called me and said she wanted a speed bump, and we discussed it. And I said, "Well, can we put it in front of your house? Because there's a lot of houses there." And she thought about it. She said, "Let me think about it." But she goes out and walks. The road's narrow and people speed through there. They speed everywhere. Narrow Lane East, all my neighbors want it, but the location is in front of somebody's house, and I have not been able to get a hold of them to see if they're amenable to it. So I'll sit on that. But there are 4 speed bumps, which we've got good locations for, and we've got people, I think it's very hard to turn down. They've done their homework, they have neighbors who want it, and it'll definitely slow the traffic down. I mean, Wainscott Harbor Road, I know a guy who got ticketed there for going 71 miles an hour. And most of the time, I don't, do any of these guys currently have the credentials to do radar tracking? I don't think.
Not
don't
the
have anybody.
part-timers, no, not the part.
Once in a long time that somebody shows up who has the credentials to do radar tracking. So where does that leave us? Anyway, please, anybody who wants to throw in on this, go ahead.
I'm concerned about the one on Sag Road where we do have somebody neighbors that have done their homework.
Yeah,
Where are they, where would we put it?
well, they had real specific locations.
East or, well, it could be what, east or west of the curve or?
One would be this side of the curve. You know, you got a field on either side, so that's easy. And the other would be between Yektai and I'm not sure who the next one is. It's like you got the swamp on one side and you've got a big brush patch between the two of them. And so when people first get into the village, they gotta slow down. And I know one of the guys says he can't see, when he tries to get out of his driveway, he's very close to the corner. He said people speed around that corner and he's
Yeah,
terrified.
is he the one that put the rocks out along the edge of his property?
Which property is this? Which road is this?
On Sag Road?
Yeah,
It might be.
By Dunn's
Possibly.
corner.
Yes,
Yeah,
possibly.
And John had to tell him to move.
Yes, yeah.
yeah.
I could see a speed bump there because it is dangerous. Somebody just buried their car in the
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
last week or a couple weeks ago.
That was due to other
Into the
issues.
bamboo there.
Yeah, right.
And,
That's a dangerous, look, that's a dangerous curve there.
Yeah.
I mean,
and there's deer and turkey out there all the
there's,
time.
yeah, and that, there is a speeding issue there, clearly.
Do you think the speeding issue is more summer than the rest of the year?
Well, I don't know, I saw them just the other day. It's because it's a primary commercial traffic road. That cuts through the village. The only thing I would mention is that, I live on Hedges and I have a speed table, I like calling that, in front of my house.
They're all speed tables.
And I have to tell you, and I actually did a little bit of research. I actually went through the police report. And I looked at, because it says where the police pull people over. Hedges Lane has dropped and being traffic stops there. Maybe it's from the stop signs, but from speeding, it has dropped dramatically. Almost 90% by the police on Hedges. So the Hedges, it works.
Whatever.
It works. So the question is, but I will also say that they can be noisy because, some of them are different heights. It can be noisy because cars will actually go over them and then speed up in between the speed
Yeah.
bumps. I mean, that happens all the time. I have one right in front of my driveway. So, where it's located to me would be critical as to how effective it is, and B, that it's not obtrusive to any of the local residents. So if they're all asking for it, it makes sense to me to do it.
Yeah.
But I think you have to have a unanimous from all the local neighbors where the speed bumps should be. And it sounds like that's
Well,
one
and
area that
you
does.
talk about neighbors, what about the rest of the community? Who goes down that road every day?
What about it? They're not going the speed limit? They're speeding? I have no
Well, I'm
empathy. I have no empathy.
Whether
for
they
them
want
if
it
they
or
speed.
not, I don't want it.
Yeah.
I don't want any more.
Well, one thing that we don't know is how many lives it's already saved and how many accidents it's already saved. But I guarantee you, it is an issue. And I'm
Well,
a
we should
huge
have one
advocate
every
for-
10 feet.
Well, why don't you just take the attitude that maybe the road should just deteriorate bad enough so that they'll have to slow down? That's kind of that's kind of
I
the,
mean, I think.
that's kind of the rationale you're thinking. It makes
No,
no
we could
sense.
do
There
stop
makes absolutely
signs.
no sense.
Once a week at the end of my road, if I'm not close to the intersection, someone will not stop and they'll go through at a high rate of speed. It's optional. People don't care and it's open enough so they can see if the police are sitting there. At the end of, the other end of narrow lane, with Wayne Scott Harbor, it's, the police sit there at times and that's very effective because when you're heading, north, you can't see that there's a police car there and they pick them up. And I've actually talked to the police and they say, this one works to write tickets if you want to write tickets. But the other one, sometimes they camp out there and you can see them through the deer fence so that people know to stop. But stop signs are optional. People are not, there's no downside to it except getting the ticket.
Well, I would like to see the police not sit on the highway and do more internal community work, which might help the people to slow down. I mean, they sit in a couple of spots up on the highway.
Well, that's where most of the traffic stops are.
Huh?
That's where most of the traffic stops are, on Montauk Highway. If you look at the
Yeah,
details of
which
the
is,
police report, it's
In
Montauk
my
Highway.
eyes, not correct. Shouldn't be.
Gonna have to become a cop.
But we can only put stop signs at a intersection.
Crosswalks. I know.
And a
So you
crosswalk.
put them anywhere you want, but
Well, that's what I'm saying. Do you put,
people won't stop for them. In terms of our own residents, if you can't drive slowly for the last mile from the edge of the village to your house, then go somewhere else. You know, I mean, really,
I'd rather see them have to slow down to go over a speed bump and complain about it
yeah.
than to have them just fly down the road and, you know, I would love to know the reaction from the school teachers there, if they've noticed a big difference in the traffic there. Because I think there, where we have them there, it's perfect. I think most everybody's slowing down for them. And that once they're slowed down for the speed bump, they're slow enough to make a good stop.
Stop.
Good solid stop.
Except the building's falling down. It's rattled the building quite badly, I heard.
What?
SAG school building,
What about
the vehicles going over them and,
How do we know that?
I don't know, somebody told me that.
No, I heard one of the teachers, they told me, it
It's
says,
probably
it makes noise.
Oh, yeah.
I know it makes noise.
I do too. I have one in front of my
house.
house.
Yeah,
So I will say that the ambulance, I'm gonna put my EMT hat, they hate it. But I made them time the difference between going down Parsonage and then going down Hedges, and it was 1.2 seconds differential.
huh,
So
wow, I thought it would be more.
I thought it would be more too.
Well, there's a stop sign too on Hedges. And it's only
They don't-
1.2
they don't-
seconds.
But they don't.
They go through those.
Well, I don't go through. You have to slow down for those. Easy rider over there, so.
I've been a big proponent of calming down the traffic here, and it is noticeable, it has helped. And if you know, if there's, the neighbors all wanna have it, and that is an area on that road that is still dangerous to me. I'm not sure I even would let my kids on that road even after the speed humps, but that's, because that is a dangerous section there. They
Well,
are
if you're an
flying.
adult riding a bicycle, you know how to be safe. And the other choice is you just don't let the 7-year-old child drive down the road on the bike, period.
Yeah, but you know what, a bike versus a car, you're not gonna win. It's not a matter who's right, who's wrong there.
I mean, people come here to recreate, yeah, and the number of people who go by my house in the winter, in the snow, on a bicycle, you know, they do, you know, Jim Pike goes by almost every day, you
Because
know.
nobody goes down that road, basically.
Which one?
Your road.
You know, it's changed, actually.
I've seen quite a few bikers in there, I take that road a lot.
No, I'm not talking about bikers. Bikers go there because it's calm.
Yeah.
The afternoon traffic started bypassing through our road a few years ago. And more recently, the early morning traffic is coming through. I don't know why. But for some reason, we have people who start like a little after 6 o'clock. And they stop at the Porta-John too. I don't know where they're coming from. I think there is some traffic there's a back way into the industrial park. I don't know if you've ever been back there. But there's a back way to get into in East Hampton Industrial Park, and you've got some big employers in there. Landscape Details has several hundred employees. And then, you know, you've got the police station, and then there's that group of kind of rental buildings. It's hard to see them, but I think Men at Work used to be in there. I don't know who owns it. And Farrell's got a building back there now. And I think because our road used to be quiet in the morning and busy in the afternoon, and now it's picked up in the morning early. Yeah, maybe I should follow somebody and see where they go, but what do you do? I mean, it's a
They're
public
probably
road.
just trying to avoid the traffic going through Wainscott.
Could be,
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly, yeah.
yeah.
Come up with a lot of people that I know that want to get somewhere in a hurry would rather take a 20-mile
Detour.
Back road
back
detour.
road rather than sit in traffic for 15 minutes. I mean, they
Yeah.
get so impatient and it's crazy, but
Forward motion.
yeah,
That's human nature.
as long as, and usually they have somebody else driving them. So they're
Right.
reading their paper, you know, but it just aggravates them to sit in traffic.
How much do the speed bumps cost now?
Chunk change. About 15 grand,
15.
yeah. It's how much asphalt they take, and whatever. There's a formula. I mean, the road has got it all. We have the previous construction pricing. Yeah.
Do we have our engineer take a look at it and see
Oh,
where?
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
they do
yeah.
the plans for it, yeah.
I wouldn't be, I would like to see them take a look at Sag Road at least anyway. And see
Oh, Sagaponic Road.
Sagaponic Road.
Yeah, yeah,
And have them see if they can recommend
Where they should be.
where they should be.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it matters where they are.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, that's, actually, I've been pretty good about picking out where they go, because I've read all this stuff.
yeah,
But I want him to pass on it because I don't want to get sued
yeah.
if it's in the wrong place. Oh, yeah, definitely.
I think that's a spot we should look at.
Yeah, well, I'd like to do Wainscott Harbor. The people there want it, and there are good, quiet places to put them. So the two of the roads.
Where's Wainscott Harbor? Which one? Is it?
Where Wyeth is
Oh,
on the
where-
corner,
Yeah,
goes straight up to the
Joy or
railroad
something.
track.
used to be concrete.
Mhm. Goes alongside the golf course.
Goes over the railroad tracks.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, we could have them look there too. I would.
And are they talking about before the railroad tracks or north of the railroad
Oh,
tracks?
no, we don't own north of
We
the
don't do
railroad
north.
tracks.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
But I'm not, I don't think it's, Fairfield Pond, I don't think it requires it.
Well, to me, just, there's no place that you can put it that it's not gonna be noisy to somebody.
Yeah.
And these people, if they want it, they're gonna have to go and knock on their neighbors' doors. I'm not gonna do all the work.
The biggest problem on Fairfield Pond Road is, the landscape trucks that
Oh,
they
yeah,
don't want to drive on their
Right.
sodded lawn, so they park in the road and everybody's got to go out
yeah.
and, you know,
Traffic coming right there, Bill.
yeah, yeah.
So we're looking just for, so what are we looking for?
Two roads,
2 roads?
Wainscott Harbor, Sagaponic Road.
and we're gonna think about it and let the guy come back and tell us where they should be in the
Yeah.
road.
Yep,
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
okay.
Can I bring up another subject then?
okay.
And I was, and I spoke to my wife, who is very, she's more in Carrie's camp of, you know, the less the better type of thing. But, and I was anti-Porta-John as far as that stuff goes, but because I think it's because the Sag Main is closed, the bridge has now become a urinal for whatever reason. I've gone by there 4, 5, 6 times in the pits. And I don't know whether it's a Porta-John or whether it's something somewhere, but it's not. I was very opposed to it when I first heard it, and certainly my wife is more than opposed to it, but I think it's something we have to think about.
What are you saying?
No, I'm saying that we've got to be thinking about that as a urinal.
What as a urinal?
The bridge area.
Absolutely not.
I know exactly where I was going, down the road of the buzzsaw.
Just don't go that way anymore. Go over the white walls.
But, you know, watching these guys, and it's not just, you know, they're coming out of the bushes. To me.
The deer are down there too, the dogs, the
Yeah,
cats, the
that's
mice, you know, it all gets filtered through.
Can we
That's
just
why the
backtrack
pond
to,
stops.
Yeah.
so the board is all in agreement to have LKMA, or majority in agreement to have LKMA review Sagaponic Road and Wainscott Harbor Road for the placement of speed bumps.
Speed tables, yes.
Beach shells? What do we?
Speed tables,
Table.
technically speed tables.
Okay,
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 Or if they even should be there.
well, that would be, well, it's not they're gonna do what we ask them to do, it's not really their job to tell you
Whether
whether
they
they
should
should
be
be
there or not.
there or not, I guess.
So isn't
Anyway.
it their job to tell whether it's an ideal spot? Or is
Right,
that
so they'll look at the
Right.
area, exactly, look at the
And then
area,
we can look at it. to see
recommend
what-
where
And,
they can
but,
be placed.
but given.
Look, I'm
this-
with Bill. I wish we we shouldn't have any of them, but we have to do something here. We have to be responsible. It's our fiduciary responsibility for the safety of the village. And we have to calm the traffic down. And now those are spots that seem reasonable to me.
They are dangerous. That
I
curve
have to
is,
say, I
curve
was
is
down
really
on
bad.
Wainscott Harbor Road yesterday, John and I had to go down to that property, 199, with the tree removal. We were on the side of the road and we were like, get out of the way, get out of the way. And I'm sitting there going, come on, and there's these big, trucks coming down. I'm like they were on 495. It's crazy. Anyway, just throwing that out there.
The big trucks with all the sand and the gravel. on it.
FedEx was one of them, then there was a big box truck, I don't know who the company was, a couple of cars. But they just put the pedal to the metal and 199 is about halfway down on that road and we just gave them right there, they didn't really care.
Or do we widen every road?
Four lanes.
That's what I'm saying, probably.
Four
speed
lane,
bump
yeah.
For the bikers, I'm just I'm saying that probably cost effective if it's a speed shelf or.
Table.
Mark the first shelf, I think that's going.
Elf on a shelf.
Okay, Lenny, you're busy.
Porta John. Is that what you're?
That was, I thought we went.
I've been for a Porta John there for a long time. I want to go fishing there and drink beer on the bridge and have a Porta John. I don't drink, I do not drink. That's a joke.
I don't know if it's Porta John or some, but
For what?
I don't know who, I haven't thought about what else, but I was just saying that this is the time when there are 54 traffic stops, when it's not the season for the workers. I can't imagine the season for the workers, them sitting out there and doing it. It was one time when it was like 7 of them over the bridge, which
Yeah.
that's not what,
Peeing off the bridge, is that what are you kidding me?
no.
That's indecent exposure, you should have called the cops.
They're parked there on Montauk Highway waiting for people.
I'll let them know that. I mean, that's disgusting.
Yeah,
Did you stop and join them?
no. That wasn't my, I mean, not my
Well, we
thing.
put a
to-
sign down there, cameras all over, watch it.
Did we?
We could.
St. Pon's polluted enough.
Yeah, really.
Well,
And that comes from the houses.
And the farm.
Dog hunters,
I don't know. People's
fishing, grabbing,
having a joint
yeah.
TMP.
Anything else? We gotta pay bills?
Do you want to talk about this letter?
Oh, right, yeah. Why don't you talk about?
Sure, so this is just a follow-up where we're intending to send a letter, and Bill's agreed to send it, or Brody, I don't really care, but regarding trying to share the parking on Town Line Road with the Village of East Hampton, and we also, if you take a look at the letter, we also included clearly that we put in the benefit of the sand replenishment that actually is going probably about 20 yards into the town of East Hampton by Town Line. So we're trying to encourage them to try to see if there's a amenable solution where we can have the Village of Sagaponic residents park down on Town Line. In the letter, you can see the letter, it's self-explanatory. I'm not sure they'll respond to it, but again, this one probably should be CC'd to the Wayne Scott people because I think they're more. There's nothing else.
I got no problem with it. Something done back in history, which, who was the supervisor?
Ginty was the
McGinty
first
was the
one.
supervisor who pulled the
First
plug
letter.
on it. And since then, no one else has had the will to be cooperative, but if they don't want to pave the road either, I guess they're just not cooperative with this end of the town, village, whatever. Pay bills?
So everyone's in agreement of sending, at least the majority in sending that letter. I'll change it to have it from the Board of Trustees and I will sign up. Okay.
Is it, Bill, will you sign it or you want Rhodey to?
No,
do it?
Rhoda's gonna sign it.
Good.
We have the board.
You just see, make sure we get a copy before you send it so I can give people like stuff that may help or others. And that also includes the paving. If, when that goes out, just let me know. The paving letter.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, yes.
It should go, they should get it first, though.
Yeah,
The town should get it first.
No, that's,
before
we're
these
doing,
other
following the right
people.
protocol process, but I just want to, you know, I can back channel this thing to see if it gets traction.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, back channeling, but it should, the town should get it first.
Yeah.
Before the others.
Make a motion to expend from the general fund the amount of $7,526.99. Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to expend from the trust and agency fund $2,500. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And make a motion to expend from the village hall pocket $1,312.38. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Did anyone have a question about the financial condition of the village? Everything looks good. Expenses are in line. As I look at them, revenue has been slightly above projections, so everything's just hunky dory.
I looked at the record, rarely, budget, it's great.
Any comments from the floor? Oh, hold on. Tell a joke? No, no.
I have one,
Yeah,
one question that could have been brought up before, but in reference to trimming the trees. We have Bartlett doing it, right?
yeah.
I'd like to see them check the, trim out and clean up the cherry trees, but down on the village green,
Oh,
they haven't been trimmed out.
Around the cemetery.
they did
Yeah,
it last year.
Huh?
They did it last year and they started to resprout.
Yeah, they're resprouting.
I was almost thinking of trying to find a couple of volunteers and go down because it's pretty easy to prune.
Yeah, and they really need to be cleaned up a little bit.
That's on public
Just-
property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are our trees.
If they could just look at it, and, I mean, there is, whatever you call that, sprouts going up. And get that under control.
Yeah,
Good. That's all I have.
Well, Bartlett could do that too, right? I mean, that's an easy
Yeah.
peg on phone.
yeah. Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
10 minutes.
If that's something.
Hey, thanks for coming. Welcome.